Hey guys, I'm not gonna make this intro part of the video too long. This was supposed to be a 300 special, but somehow it became like a 350 special. I can't believe you guys did that so fast. Not that I'm complaining. I'm definitely not doing that. Please don't take it that way. I'm not complaining. But yeah, thanks. It was supposed to be a 300 special. Now it's a 300 to 350 special, which is insane, by the way. Thank you. This picture was taken on my balcony, nice sunset. It wasn't raining, I just splashed some water on the glass on the balcony and took a picture. Pretty simple. Did it in quarantine when I got bored a lot and I liked experimenting with water in my pictures. So, nothing really special. Anyway, let's get on to the completion of all the parts in this series. I hope you enjoy. Light and darkness. The Guardian. Not just any guardian. The Guardian was special. She had unimaginable power. Sometimes she could barely contain it herself. She put some of her energy into gems she found. She found them so mesmerizing she called them miraculous. She swore to herself she would protect them. After all, they were a part of her. They contained her magic. With power not only came responsibility, it also comes with greedy people wanting what they do not possess. She was wandering around her garden. The guardian loved all things good. A wizard, bent on getting it, stormed in. He was there for her power. He struck her and she teleported somewhere safe. She trusted the jewels to some people in the mountains. She left notes with her dying breath. With her dying breath, she cast her magic away. Even her body containing the magic was dangerous. She let her magic go and commanded it to pick the purest heart that was born. That was millions of years before. Such a pure heart was not something that was found every day. It was 2003, a year different than all the rest. The year Marinette Chang was born. It was the heart that they had been looking for centuries upon centuries. The parents were humble bakers. They too were pure hearts. Just not enough for the power of the guardian. She was innocent for the first 5 years of her life. One day her parents tried to take away her favorite cat pillow. Marinette loved everything to do with cats. She got angry and started to yell at her parents. She was only 5, not mature enough to know her power. Her head started hurting and fire encased the small bakery. Ash everywhere. The smell of burning filling her lungs. She opened her eyes and saw her parents, the people she loved most, on the ground. They were not breathing and were still. She started crying. "You know the police will look for you. Come with me, little one," a mystery man said. That man was Hawkmoth. A monster planning on stealing the miraculous. He had sensed the power coming off of her. He was scared, but would pretend to be dominant. He would never show his fear. "It was an accident," she said shyly. "Come with me. I will protect you. In return, you will be my servant. I will give you cool powers and a new suit. Come with me, little devil. Come here." The man brought her to a mansion. It was big, but not fancy. It was abandoned and dusty. He put her in a room, dark and filled with cages of butterflies, dark purple butterflies. He took her hand and gave her a bracelet that he had stolen. He put the butterfly onto a removable charm. She transformed into something she could not describe. "You can control and make these butterflies. You may talk to them, command them." He left without another word. For the next 17 years, he kept her locked up, trained her day by day, made her do as he told, made her do wicked things. He made other servants fight her. He did this until she was stronger than him, but pretended he was dominant. What type of idiot would tell his servant that she was his biggest fear? A guardian was chosen every 200 years. A guardian had all the jewels that were once connected to her, to the guardian. Her story had been passed down by every guardian. The current guardian was a sweet man named Fu. He was very kind and generous. He had 4 adopted children he had found on the streets and raised as his own. They were all born in 2003 and were currently 17. Adrian, Chloe, Alia, and Nino. The children held their own miraculous. They were all aware of the legend of the guardian. They worked day and night to stop Hawkmoth. He sent Akumas. They thought they were giving him his all. Little did they know his biggest weapon hidden away miles away from the city. Marinette looked at the single window in her room. She could see a forest of plants. Her so-called father lived in a mansion far from the city. He kept her isolated and didn't give her much contact. She heard 3 rhythmic knocks on her door and opened it. She saw one of the many servants who were scared of her and her father. Your father is waiting for you in his office. The servant stuttered. Very well, I'll be down in a second. She put her hair into a high ponytail and went to her father's office. It was big and empty. I have a mission for you, child, he said blankly. Really? I get my first mission? What do I do, father? She asked, bowing down. You will go and spy on the 4 heroes who have been messing with my plans. You will go for 1 week. You will sleep on top of roofs and stay hidden. Understood? He said. Yes, father. I will see you in a week's time. She joined the charm to her bracelet and went. She found the city mesmerizing. It was grand. She had flashbacks but didn't understand them. Her memories from before Hawkmoth were clouded. She detransformed. She spotted Chat Noir standing on a tower. He was so handsome. She found his ears cute. She had always loved animals, especially cats. She watched quietly. He sent someone there, but didn't show that. After a few minutes he ignored it and thought it was just a fan. She turned around and started writing notes for her father. She made some Akumas. He didn't see. He crept closer and saw the girl drawing him. She was sketching and noting about him. I know you are spying on me, she said, not bothering to look up. You did the same. How did you know? He asked, approaching her. He stopped when he saw an Akuma go to her. He was about to stop it when she laughed. She wasn't sad or angry. She liked it. My pets would never lie, she said. The Akuma landed on her hand and she petted it. Who are you? What are you doing on a roof so late? He asked. She realized she shouldn't be talking to him, but his company was nice. She enjoyed talking with other people. Smash! A boulder hit for Chat Noir. He dived to her and was about to pick her up and run, but she jumped over the wall she was sitting on. Stormy weather. Go now, I commanded, she said. Chat watched closely. She wasn't scared at all. I'm talking with him. If you tell father about this, I swear I will have you killed, and I'll take the Akuma back. Do you understand? Stormy weather nodded. She was scared. This girl in front of her had taken her fellow Akumas out many times. Yes, mistress, she said, flying away. Mistress? Who are you? Why didn't you get scared? Chat asked. You wouldn't believe me. Please leave. I don't want to hurt you. She sat back down and covered her face with her hands. She wanted to know him. She liked him. That was wrong. If he liked her too, the day she was tasked to take his miraculous, she would be too weak. She would fail her father. No, I see you are kind. Then you threaten to kill someone? Something is wrong, he said. I can't say. My father will be mad. I enjoy your company, but you should go, she said kindly. I want to get to know you better. I think you are nice. Can I? He asked. I'll be here for the next week. Meet me here tomorrow at the same time? She said kindly. Her smile returned. Of course, princess. He winked and left. Oh no, this was gonna get complicated. Chapter 2. Marinette watched as he left and settled down. One of her many powers was creation. She thought it was from her akumatization, but no, it was her own power. At least one of them. Her favorite creation was one she named Tiki. Marinette had some memories where she saw a creature as such. The memories were not her own. She was yet to realize that they were the memories of the guardian. She talked with the creature for hours. She watched as her father sent villains. She watched as the hero took them down. She watched and was a little impressed by their synchronization, but she had defeated them time and time again. It was fun watching the fights. They were different to the world of darkness she lived in. The heroes worked and laughed. They ended every fight with bumped hands. The time came for her to meet Chat. She de-transformed and got rid of Tiki. She sat with her notebook and sketched the villains off. She knew them off by heart. They served her sometimes. She was excited. She hoped he wouldn't bring the whole mistress thing up. She found out that she was enjoying getting to know people. Being heard and come with many friends, besides the ones she made. She waited patiently for her newfound company, at least her new companion, at least she hoped he was a companion. "Hey, princess," he said sweetly. "Hi, kitty. Come, sit next to me." "I'm not gonna hurt you," she smiled. She was used to people fearing her. "Kitty? I like that. I know you won't hurt me. You can't," he assumed, taking his spot next to her. "You'd be surprised, kitty." "Thank you," she said. "For what? I haven't done anything for you. You saved me from stormy weather," he said. "For being here. I never talked to another person without them being scared," she revealed. "What? Why would someone be scared of you? You're nice and kind," he said. "I may be, but my father is a scary and powerful man. He makes me train. I know how to fight fairly well. I don't have any friends or family besides him," she said. "Really? How bad can he be?" "I'll be your friend. You deserve one," he smiled. With that, she rested her hair on his shoulder and looked to the city, still amazed by the beauty she had been hidden away from for so many years. He smiled at her. He wondered how someone so sweet could be so lonely and scary to so many. Her head started hurting and she shot up. She paced back and forth in front of him suddenly. She got these headaches when she got new memories and clues to her life. She walked around the confused cat. "Are you okay, princess?" he said. It was odd how she was talking one moment and the next she was walking around head in her hands. Headache. It's just a bad headache. I'll be fine in a few minutes," she said, trying to stop him from questioning more. "It happens often?" he asked. "Yeah, it goes away when I get the memories," she said, answering his question and giving him a set of new ones. "The memories? What do you mean?" he said. Her headache calmed down and she sat next to him again. "Sometimes I get memories. They aren't my own. My father's not my real father. He adopted me when I was 5. I don't have real parents. The memories are like clues. I wish they would stop," she said. "Are you okay now? Do you need to go to the doctor? Where is your father?" he asked. It stopped. No, doctor. I don't want to see a doctor, and I can't tell you that," she said. "What do you mean? Why can't you say? Who's your father? I want to help," he said desperately. "He will kill me if I say. I can't tell you who he is. You'll die if you help," she said. He liked this girl. She was kind and fun. She was also sad and a bit broken. She had the worse childhood than him. He knew what it was like to be adopted. He just ended up in a better place afterwards. He wanted to give that to her. She deserved that. She should have got that too. Poor girl. They changed the topics and started to have more light-hearted conversations. By the end, he realized that he didn't know her name. "Princess, I have to leave, but you never told me your name," he said. She felt a little silly. "Oh, I don't have one. My father doesn't adjust me my name. My name was Marinette once, but I don't remember my last name. My current one is..." "No, I can't," she remembered she didn't want to say. She thought if he knew he would stop hanging out with her. He would make her tell. She would be a traitor to her father. That would be bad. "What's so bad about your dad? I want to know you," he said pleadingly. "I want to know you too. I wish I could. I really do. I hate my home," she said. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't push you. You just feel like one of my best friends," he said. "How do you think I feel? You feel like my best friend. You are my only," she said. "I know you told me. I wish I could help you, but I can't. My identity..." He started. "I understand. Trust me, I understand. Please keep meeting me," she said, hoping she hadn't angered him. She valued him already. "Of course I'll keep meeting you," he reassured her. She let out a sigh of relief and returned her head to the original spot in his shoulder. This was nice for both of them. They had only met twice, but there was something special, something that could grow. It felt right, felt comfortable, felt safe. It was an escape from the opposite lives both of them led. For Chat, an escape from life protecting people in Paris. For Marinette, a life obeying her father. "Chat?" she asked. He hummed. She took a deep breath. "Are you okay, princess?" He stuck to her nickname. "I'll be here every day this time for the next 5 days. I want you to visit," she said. "Of course I will. What about after the 5 days? Will I see you after?" He said, "Can't say. After 5 days I go home. I don't know what will happen after that," she said, regret in her heart. She didn't want to do this. "I don't know if I'll be okay without you. I know it's only been 2 days. It feels like I've known you forever. Like you were my best friend," he said. "I feel that too. I will try and come back," she said. Chapter 3. After Chat spent some more minutes with Marinette, he went home, or the place he called home. Adrian grew up on the streets. His parents died when he was young. A man named Fu took him in when he was 6. Fu raised him well. When he got to his house, there was a girl named Chloe who welcomed him. She was the same age as him. 2 years later, a girl named Dahlia, and 6 months after that, Nino. They were all within a year of each other's age. They were like siblings, except Chloe sometimes crushed on Adrian, and Nino and Alia were a couple. When they turned 15, he gave them Miraculous. They had been heroes for almost 3 years, protecting the city from Hawkmoth. How much they wanted to catch him. How much they wanted a clue. Adrian got home a little late. "Where have you been, Adrian?" Fu asked with a serious expression. Adrian's siblings behind him. "I was meeting a friend. I'm fine," he reassured. "Transformed? You met a friend while transformed? Who is it?" Master Fu asked. "A girl. Her name is Marinette. She is kind, and I'm not going to stop going," he said. Afraid he'd have to stop. "All right, just tell us next time," Fu said, seeing that Adrian was bent on seeing her. "Thank you, Fu," he said, retreating to his room. A smile grew on his face. Marinette stayed on the roof and made tiki again. She liked tiki a lot. She was sweet and would be by Marinette. They talked before Marinette fell asleep. A servant of her father flew to talk to her. "Your father has called you, mistress. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. He wants an update." The servants went to her home. Oh no, that was the time to meet her kitty. She had no choice. Her father was not someone to be challenged. She left a page of her sketchbooks on the roof with a note. "My father has called for me. I'm sorry, kitty. I'll try and come back soon. Today." Marinette arrived at her home and walked straight to her father's office. "Yes, father? How is it going out there, child? Are you managing okay? Have you been caught?" he asked, expressionless as usual. "I'm enjoying it. I hide on a roof. No one has found me. I have studied the techniques and taken notes on them. Here you go, father." She handed him a sketchbook. "Good. You may leave. Stay out until further notice." She bowed and left. She went back happy. She transformed and hoped he was still on the roof. She forgot she was transformed after the good news. She could stay longer than she thought. "What the heck? Who are you? An Akuma?" he said. She took the charm off her bracelet. "No, not an Akuma. It's just me, kitty," she said next to him. "How is that possible? You were okay? I don't understand," he said, sitting next to her. "I'd rather not talk about it." "I have some great news. I get to stay longer," she smiled. "I have some good news too. My guardian said I could keep meeting you." She stood up and hugged him. "I've never been happier," she whispered. He just hummed in approval. They sat back down. "Did I do something wrong, princess?" he asked. She was confused. "No, of course not. What makes you think that?" she asked, just as confused again. It's just you don't tell me about your home life that much," he said. "I trust you, but I can't, even if I want to. You'll stop seeing me and I'll be alone." She finally revealed her fear. "I won't ever stop seeing you. Don't you dare think that." reassured her. Okay, one day I'll tell you, one day soon. I just can't, not yet, she said, putting her head in her favorite spot, on his shoulder, his comfortable, loving shoulder. After a while, he left again. Marinette played with her powers, making things from the new memories that had formed over the last few days. Kwamis, people, animals, plants, a lot of things. She got better at controlling it. She figured when her nerves were relaxed and she was not in a state of stress, she could do more. She learned to teleport small things. She learned to make multiple Kwami-like creatures at once. She learned to do a lot of things. One day she was a little reckless. She ended up making things at the wrong time. Cat Noir walked in to scare her, but instead saw her making a creature. How? How did you do that, princess? He asked. She looked behind her. The memories. I saw a creature like this and just made it. I don't know how. She answered. She looks just like my Kwami. She looks like a red and black spotted plague, he commented, eyes full of confusion as he went closer to admire the creature. What is a Kwami? What is a plague? She asked. She had recognized the term, but not more than that. He's a small black being like that. He gives me the suit, he explains. I need you to come with me. You have to meet someone, even if I get in deep trouble for this. Please, trust me enough to follow me to my home, he said. Where is it? Why? When? I have too many questions right now. I do trust you, she answered. Now, a cabin in the woods where I live, you need to meet my guardian, he said, putting his hand out for her to grab. I can travel myself, you know, she transformed. He jumped back in surprise. Still me, not gonna do anything, she smiled. Sorry, I just need to get used to that. Follow me. With that, he led her to the woods. The forest was on the other side of the city, close to the place she called home. Time for some answers. Marinette had a small frame, unlike Chat Noir. He had broad shoulders, big arms, big legs. Years of training had done him well. He was strong and had the power of destruction, but he was gentle and wouldn't harm anyone. He had called ahead. Fu, I have no time to explain. Have Rena Rouge, Carapace, and Queen Bee with you. I need them transformed. Trust me on this. He hung up and continued jumping. He jumped across the rooftops, impressed at her speed. Whatever training she had mentioned must have been hard. He landed in front of the house and called for them. What is it, Carapace started, unable to finish his sentence when Chat put a hand on his mouth. Shush, none of you say your names. He stepped to the side to reveal Marinette. She was still in her akumatized forms. Luckily, Hawkmoth couldn't see through her eyes. An Akuma! Rena shouted. They started charging, and she just dodged. Guys, stop! I brought her here. She's different, not an Akuma. He went to her side. They looked in confusion. Marinette de-transformed. I'm not here to fight, she said. Then why are you here? Asked Queen Bee. Honestly, Kitty just brought me here. I don't know why, she replied. Fu, something she did. I wanted you to see. Very well. Please come in, Miss... Fu started. Marinette, she said, smiling, walking into the nice cabin. They all sat together in the room. What is it that you'd like to show us, Marinette? Fu said, handing her a cup of tea. Well, I don't know how to explain it, but I get these memories, those which are not my own. I figured out to do some things I don't really understand. I'll just show you. She put her hands up, red light forming into a small creature. Tiki. Hi, Tiki, Marinette said. Good evening. I see we are not alone. The small creature smiled. Hi, she said to the rest of the heroes. I don't believe it. You're finally here. It's an honor, Fu said, bowing down. I'm sorry, did I miss something? Why are you bowing, Master? Chloe asked. Children, I think we have finally found her. The guardian, he said. The children all looked surprised. What? I don't get it, she said, looking at the surprised faces. You're the guardian, Chat said. She gave a look telling him that he needed to explain more. A guardian protects these jewels. This is how I got my skills and my suit, he pointed to his ring. The guardian had many powers. She thought it was too much and she stored a small amount in these things called miraculous. The legend said that when she passed, she commanded her magic to choose the purest heart in the land. That was millions of years ago. Looks like the magic chose, he said. What? Me? I can't. That can't be right. I'm a horrible person. I was raised by... She started, cutting herself off as usual. Raised by who? Just say it, Jet said. Marinette, why can't you say? Who are your parents? Fu said. He was confused. My parents are gone. When I was young, a different man raised me. I can't say who, she said again. Okay, when you trust us enough to tell us. When you trust us enough to tell us. For now, you may stay in the house. In this house. Children, stay transformed when you're out of the room. You can go with Chat, Fu said. What? Like, in his room? Are you sure? I can sleep on the sofas, she said. No, you can sleep in my room. Come on, he said, escorting her to his room. It was a simple room for most people, but for someone who had grown up with a neglected monster of a man, it was lovely. The walls were black, the furniture was white, the bed sheets and paintings on the walls were green. It's wonderful. I'll sleep on the couch. It's getting late anyway, she said, retreating to his sofa. You're going to sleep on that? In that? Aren't you uncomfortable? He said. I mean, I have a magic suit. You have day clothes. Here, change into this. He handed her a Chat Noir-themed hoodie. She went to the bathroom and changed quickly. It was obviously big on her, but no matter. She was still more comfortable than ever before. She came up and saw him lying on the couch. I thought I was there, she said. What type of knight would let his princess sleep on the couch? He teased. You know, we could always just both sleep in the bed. It's more comfy and spacious, she just suggested. Only if you're comfortable with it, princess. She nodded with a smile and they got in. They slept peacefully on opposite sides of the bed. They had only known each other for a week. They had never felt more comfortable and safe. The next morning, she woke up first. She snuck out of the room, careful not to wake him up. She went to the garden and just sat. She was still, feeling the grass under her, feeling the slight breeze, too weak to move her, feeling at peace. Suddenly she was hit with memories. Her head started to ache. She saw two people who she had once loved. She saw ash and blood everywhere. She felt the burning near her. She saw flames around her room. She felt the dust around her. She smelt the smoke that was once in her lungs. All that time ago. She remembered the people. She remembered her last name. Her eyes stayed shut as the memories of her past flooded her brain. Some birthdays, some macaroons, some people, some friends, some teachers. She remembered it all. The earth around her began to shake. The house residents woke up. Chat realized she was not next to him anymore. The heroes transformed. They started rushing out the house. That is when they saw her. She was glowing. This was bad. They knew why there was an earthquake. The Guardian's true power was about to be unlocked. Marinette! Yelled Chat. Marinette! Yelled Chat, fear in his eyes. He dived towards her, much to the disapproval of his adoptive family. Chat, no! Yelled Carapace. They were best friends. He got in front of her, struggling to balance. Princess, stop! Come back! He pleaded. She heard his voice, and the glowing started to dim. Kitty! The glowing and the shaking of the earth had stopped. She dropped into his arm. The amount of power made her weak. She had felt power before, but never like that. Jack cradled her in her arms. He gave a worried look at his family. Something was wrong. After a few minutes, her head stopped hurting, but her body was still weak. She was fighting to stay awake. Chat gently carried her inside. Slowly, her energy came back. Chat set her on the sofa. Are you okay? He said in a whisper. She could only hum. Soon after, she got the energy to stay awake and talk. I saw them. I saw my parents. I saw them on the ground. I saw ashes. I saw fire. It was me. I'm the reason they are dead. I couldn't control it all that time ago. She started tearing up. Jet sat next to her and held her. She let out a few soft sobs. He rubbed circles on her back, comforting her cries. Alia, Nino, Chloe, and Master Fu sat on the floor. She is too powerful, Adrian. What if you hadn't calmed her? Fu said, Marinette asleep in his arms. Finally giving in. We can't abandon her, he argued. I know, we need to learn more about her current living, he said. How? She won't tell me anything. I know she trains and that her father doesn't care about her. I don't know more than that. She doesn't even tell me her last name, he said. We will have to wait until she trusts us enough to say more. We will wait. She is very important, son. Her power is strong. We need to help her control it, Fu said. Are you sure, Master? Is it safe for her to be with us? Chloe asked. She wanted Marinette to go. She was stealing the attention of Adrian. Chloe was not proud of herself, but she was jealous. No, we cannot do that. I'm not leaving her, Chat said. I'll put her in my bed for now. He picked her up gently and laid her in his bed. He pulled the blankets over her. He was going to make sure she was comfortable. Chat sat on the sofa, playing games on his baton, waiting for her to wake up. He heard her start to shift and immediately went to her side. She opened her eyes slowly. How are you feeling, my princess? He asked. Better. I feel better. I'm just scared. What if I hurt you like I hurt them? She said sadly. He jumped onto the bed and opened his arms, an invitation for her to get into his arms. You won't hurt me. I know it. I'm going to help you. He kissed the top of her head. He waited a second to see if she would scold him or try and get up or think he was weird, but no. She just hugged him closer. She didn't try and escape from his touch. She came closer. He was going to be a hero. Not the normal hero he was. He was going to be her hero. After a few minutes, there was a knock on the door. It was Alia. She wanted to see if Marinette was up yet. Jack got out of the bed, much to Marinette's disapproval. Yes, he said, opening the door to his foxy friend. Is she up yet? She asked, peeking through the door. Yes, you can come in if you want. He opened the door wider. She went in. Hi, I'm Rouge. I'm like a sister. I wanted to get to know you better, she said with a smile. Oh, hi, I'm Marinette. You knew that. It's nice to meet you, she said shyly. Don't be shy, I promise I'm nice. Anyways, I live in the room right next to this. I share a room with my boyfriend, Carapace, the turtle hero, she explained, sitting on the bed. That must be nice. What about the other hero, Queen Bee? Marinette asked. She was the first to live here. She's cold at first, but she gets nicer with time. Nina smiled. Okay. I hope I can meet the others. I think I'm okay now, she said, standing up. She almost lost her balance, but Jack called her as usual. Steady, princess. Take it slow. Take things slow. You lost a lot of energy this morning, he said caringly. Princess? Rena questions. Jack was not the flirty type, or at least not at home. In battle sometimes. Never at home. Oh yeah, he didn't know my name before, so... she said. How cute. Never thought you were the cute nickname type of guy, she smiled cheekily. It's only her. She has her own for me, Jack commented. Marinette smiled. Yeah, I call him Kitty. Speaking of, what happened this morning? I saw memories, and then you were in front of me. I saw broken trees, but I don't know how they broke, she said, hoping it was not her doing. I don't know everything, but I woke up to an earthquake, and you were no longer next to me. We all rushed outside the house. We saw you in a bright glow. Your power shook the ground around us. No one was hurt. You passed out after that. You were out for a while. We can discuss more later. Do you want food? He asked. No, I should go. I'm dangerous. I'll go home for now. See you later. With that, she got up and left. Chat disapproved, but let her go. She arrived home and went to her room. She sat on the bed. A few hours later, she turned on the TV. What she saw shocked her. She saw her kitten fighting her father. This was bad. This was the time. She had to find out which side she was on. Stay true to her father or choose her own path. Chapter 6. Marinette watched the news. We accept your challenge, Hawkmoth. We will have our final battle here tomorrow. One condition. You answer one question, said Chat. He had a plan. Fine. What is your one question? Asked Hawkmoth. One question. How bad could it be? Tell us your biggest fear, said Chat. A command more than a question. No, you will use her against me. I can't fight. I can't have that. Anything else? Suddenly his stance changed. He was no longer big and confident. Her! A girl, said Chat. He'd let that detail slip. Your loss. Guess we won't have a final fight, Queen Bee said. Fine, my servant. She does not watch television often. I tricked her when she was young, and now she is my child. She could kill me and doesn't know it. With that, Marinette's eyes glowed. She was angry. He tricked a kid. She started floating above. Her body started glowing with rage. She used her akumatized form to increase her power. You have a kid? Imagine Hawkmoth at the principal's office, Chat cheated. The girl stays at my home. No school for her, he says, annoyed at the teasing. The laughter dies as the skies turn gray. Lightning. She is coming, Hawkmoth says. Dread filled his eyes. A swarm of akumas surrounded the Eiffel Tower, where the heroes and enemies stood. Well, 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 a voice echoed. Now I remember everything. You said the police would take me. You made my life suck. An evil laugh surrounded them. Please, have mercy, he said, looking for the source of the voice. Oh, I don't know how. You never taught me mercy. She finally came out down in front of him. You took everything from me, kept me from my truth, she says. The heroes finally realized that it was Marinette in front of them. They now knew the awful person that had raised her was no other than Hawkmoth himself. It all made sense. That is why she thought he would leave. That is why she thought she was horrible. That is why Stormy Weather listened to her. That is why Stormy Weather called her mistress. It all made sense. She started throwing him, punching him, kicking him, blasting him, using all the moves that he had once taught her. Marinette, Chat said, stepping forward. The storm around them started to make lightning. Not just any lightning, lightning of all colors. She slammed Hawkmoth beneath her feet, giving Chloe the opportunity to use her venom. Marinette's eyes still glowed with rage. Akuma still covered the sky. Thunder and lightning roared in the clouds. Come back to me, princess. Stop the rage. He is down. He won't hurt you ever again. Chat's voice stopped the chaos. First the lightning, then the thunder, then the rain. Then her muscles stopped tensing. Finally, her eyes went back to the beautiful blues he had come to love so much. Within minutes, multiple Paris policemen were on top of the Eiffel Tower, taking Hawkmoth away. Marinette took the miraculous, finally face to face with the monster that raised her. No mask in between, eye to eye, finally seeing the unfiltered cold in their eyes. I hope you get all the punishment you deserve. You will never see me again. She turned and watched the man disappear. Are you okay? Chat asked as she returned to his side. We will see. I can't be here now. Do you want to come with me? I'm going to another tower. Somewhere quiet with a view, she said, looking down, still upset and about the heartbreaking revelations that come over the last few days. Okay, he said softly, realizing the pain behind her words. Let's go, she said. She started leaping around until she found the perfect roof. She watched the sunset on that life-changing day. Chat Noir took a place beside her. They ended up on the roof where they first met, where she showed him her pets, where she met someone for the first time, the roof where she slept on for days, the roof where he first saw Tiki, the amazing roof that changed each other's lives. At that moment, he made a decision. He would ask her to be his girlfriend. He would ask her to live with him. He would ask her to join the team. He would ask her to be his. He would tell her that she means so much. He would tell her that she had crept into his heart. He would tell her that he loved her. He loved her with all his heart. That he needed her in his life. He looked into her eyes and realized it all. He looked into those sad eyes that simultaneously looked broken and free, eyes that looked hopeful and hopeless. He wanted to help her heal. They sat in silence for a while. It was not awkward. It was comforting and an opportunity to process the events of the day. Are you okay, Princess? Are you okay? Princess, you haven't spoken since we left the Eiffel Tower. I'm worried, he said. It's a lot to process. My dad tried to kill you and tricked me as a kid, she said, looking down. I'm sorry, you didn't deserve any of this. I'm here for you. He scooted even ever so close. Thank you for everything, my black kitten. She put her head on his shoulder, silently letting out a few more tears. He felt the wetness on his shoulder, but decided it best not to comment. She had a lot on her plate. He didn't want to fan the fire within her. He realized it would be a long recovery. She had to first get rid of the tiredness on her body. Then she would have to heal her mind, heal the scars in her brain, stop the memories from ripping her apart, stop the stress from getting to her. She would have to learn to control the power, to become the pure heart that the Guardian's magic had chosen. Chapter 7. Marinette was in an uncommon situation. She didn't know what to do with herself. She didn't want to go to a place she called home. She didn't want to stop seeing Chat Noir. She didn't want to be abandoned. She was going to figure everything out later. For now, she was on her way to the cemetery. She was going to visit her parents' graves for the first time. Hi, Mom and Dad. It's been a while. It's probably stupid me talking to you, but I miss you. I wish I could see you, tell you that I'm healing. I just can't, and that's my fault. I'm sorry for being the worst daughter ever, for killing you, for not being grateful, for trusting a monster. She sat there in silence after that, promising herself she would return. Are you better? A low voice said. I don't know anymore. I'm lost and I need someone to help me find my way, she said, knowing it was Chat in the dark. It was well past midnight. I'll help, he said honestly. Come on, it's late. You can sleep at my place again, he said softly. She nodded, standing up. The next day she woke up in her kitty's arms, his muscular yet gentle arms, his soft leather suit touching the bare skin on her arm. He woke up as she shifted. She spent the day quietly. She designed and sketched. She baked and watched the life on the garden. Marinette, my princess, please come with me. I want to show you something, Chat said. She followed him. They were on that special roof again. This time it was decorated, rose petals and candles surrounding the table, a table with 2 dishes and some rose petals, a candlelit dinner. Wow, what is this for? She asked. I know we have only known each other for a week and a bit, but I already love you. I want to protect you and help you heal. I want you as my girlfriend, he said, opening his eyes. She walked closer, a gentle kiss on his cheek. Of course, she smiled. The rest of the dinner was good. Enjoyed, filled with laughter and giggles, filled with smiles. She was smiling again, more genuinely than ever before. Not a worry in her mind. They went back to the house. They got there and I'm ready to show you who I am, he said. Okay, is all she could say. With that, a green light shined and dimmed. My name is Adrian. I hope you get used to me without a mask and cat ears, you said. Of course. Speaking of, can we get a little fur, baby? Please? She asked. He chuckled and agreed. They walked in, and since there were no heads up that they were not transformed, Marinette recognized them, but it was weird to see her friends out of costume. At least, she hoped they were her friends. 2 years later, Adrian had proposed. Marinette knew how to control her powers. They had 3 cats, Emma, Hugo, and Louis. They were happy as ever. She had more friends. Hawkmoth was locked up. She had regularly visited the cemetery. She was always smiling. She started to make her designs and selling them. She and Chat redesigned the house, and they finally got to think of a real home. They made it happier. They lived together. Adrian kept making cat puns. Marinette sometimes laughed, but mostly rolled her eyes and groaned. Ah, yes, the perfect life. The one she deserves. That's the end. Okay, so a lot of you might be wondering where have I been? After all, it's been about a week since my last post. Basically, I needed a break. Simple as that. And you guys have told me to take one before, so I thought it would be fine. Sorry if anyone was annoyed, but it's hard to keep up with my upload schedule. Because most of my fan fictions are at least 500 words long. And combine that with a middle school student's life, yeah, it's not exactly something that is easy, especially now, because our school has just now decided that they no longer wanted us to use iPads during classes. No, not during classes. I mean during break time. So I'll have to use my own time to write these, not just my break times. I guess there's some my own time, but during school makes it easier. Anyways, the other thing is my upload schedule is mad. 87 videos in like 2 months. That is actually really, in 2 months, 87 videos. That's more than one a day, and obviously. So, yeah, I just took a break, and since I just finished the 300 special, which now, when I started doing it was like 330, when I finished the special like a week later, 360, thanks. Not complaining, obviously. That was honestly it's really nice, and we growed when I stopped posting, which was surprising. I didn't think we would. I thought I might even lose subscribers, if I'm honest. Backstory of this picture, basically, global village, here in Dubai. It is a place with, not shops, definitely bigger than shops, depending on the country. Basically, there are a bunch of buildings almost. Not buildings, houses more like. Like some of them are the size of houses, some the size of like a big mansion. Basically, you walk into the different countries, there are the foods, the souvenirs, the people, the dressing, the juices, all the different things, the furnitures, everything from that country. And it's just like a mini globe, it's the globe in a little village. And it's really nice. And then in the back of the place there's like a gigantic theme park. Actually, it's not really that big. Just like, a couple splash things, like, those carnival win if you hit everything down, that kind of thing. A couple rides, mini golf, that type of thing. And then if you would eat, there are a few like stalls with roasted nuts and cotton candy and that type of stuff. Just small. But there's also those like eating from the different places in the world. Normally my parents will go to Pakistan, India, and buy the same type of food, like pani puri. And basically it's like a round chip, I think is the best way I can describe it, dipped in this water that is spicy. And yeah, they normally buy it from both India and Pakistan, compare it every time because it's a bit different. We normally regular Turkey, China, Syria, Pakistan, India. Where else? We actually go to most places. Oh, there's also like a little river that goes around it, and you can get on these boats. Normally we don't, but anyway, that's not even where this. Basically, this was there. We were walking, and I just saw this bush. Like my parents and stuff had to go to my parents, uncles, aunt, brothers needed to go to the bathroom, so I just waited outside, and there was just a bunch of these pretty flowers, and there was a bunch of purple ones, and I saw a pink one in the distance, so I picked it up, put it in front, and took a picture. And I don't know, I like it, so I hope you guys like it. I'm eating ice cream right now, which is nice, in case you were wondering, and I was chewing gum during the recording, so I'm sorry. I hope that you don't mind. Some people actually like it, so tell me your opinion. Question of the day: how many words do you think this document is? Most of the chapters, the first ones, are 1,000 plus words. But the last one isn't 1,000 words because it was a finale. Didn't want to make it 1,000 words, and as you can tell by the length of this video, I'd already written quite a lot. So put your guesses, closest guess, comment gets pinned. Anyways, bye.